welcome to Scripts and Giggles with Shoshanna
and Marnie.
So we are in the new year. Happy New Year.
The happiest of New Years to you all.
It's
still the new year.
Yes, okay.
I actually think
Happy New January.
I think it's the actual discourse around New Year is that I think all of Jan you can say Happy New Year to whoever you talk to.
I think there's a period where you stop saying it. I think it's a period.
I think that I said Happy New Year to someone today.
Same. I think that's acceptable. Once you get to like
What
double
if you
digits.
haven't spoken to someone until the 24th of Jan?
I hope you have a good weekend. Hope you are.
No, I'm saying.
Hope everything's good in your life.
Literally 31st. If that's the first time I've spoken to you,
I'm not saying
hey
Happy New
girl,
Year.
Happy New Year.
Why?
You don't have to.
No, my birthday.
Because you're not festive. I am festive.
I'm very festive. Like, I love Christmas. I love New Year. But my birthday is towards the end of January. And for me, by the time you get to my birthday, you should be saying Happy Birthday, not Happy New Year.
That's to you.
Yeah, but to me, that's a signal that everyone should be saying Happy New Year. No, just stop saying Happy New Year.
Well, how about this? You go about your little business, and I'll go about mine. And I'll tell you whether people smile, their hearts are warmed, whether they're like, Jill, this has made my day.
If I go to someone on the 31st of January and say Happy New Year, where have I been?
It's none of your business. All I'm saying is I have not seen you this year yet. So Happy New Year.
I just feel like, okay, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So that means that for every podcast we have in January, you're going to say Happy New Year.
Yeah. If you're new, Happy New Year. How about that?
Anyway, we are wishing you a Happy New Year. We are praying that this is an amazing 2023 for you, and you have all your heart's desires, and you enjoy amazing, fun TV, and also continue to listen to Scripts and Giggles.
Amen.
Yeah.
So we're not doing pop culture news this week because we're going straight to our top cultural moments of 2022.
Woo! Before we go forward, we have to look back a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there are some things we want to leave in 22.
Oh, 100%.
And there are some things that we need more of in 23.
Kinda.
Well,
yeah, let's see.
We'll see. A bop that I haven't spoken about.
Yeah.
Damon Wayans.
Yeah.
Of My Wife and Kids.
Yeah.
And Damon Wayans Jr.
Yeah.
Of New Girl.
Yeah.
Are going to have a sitcom.
Are they?
Yeah.
Didn't they not have one?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm talking about this new show that I have invented. No, I haven't. It was announced like Deadline. They're playing father and son in a sitcom. I
feel like if you've watched both Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr., they have done that before.
But they haven't done it together.
Wasn't Damon Wayans in New Girl as Damon Wayans' dad?
No.
He was in the show that he was the dad, I swear.
Maybe in Happy Endings, but
Happy Endings.
Not in New Girl.
Happy Endings, sorry. New Girl, he left after series 1.
Then he came back. Have you even seen New Girl?
He did come back. I have. He was the original coach.
He was the original coach. Guess what? He came back and he played coach again. There was only one coach. Winston was Winston.
Winston was Winston, yeah. But I do love that because I would have hated the whole idea of like what they did in like Fresh Prince where they had.
But Winston was also a basketball player, which is
true.
Yeah.
Light skin Aunt Viv and dark skin like Aunt Viv. Like, come on, guys.
Two very different Aunt Vivs.
Yeah, and also everyone had their favourites. I'm
not gonna say which one was mine. Let's say on the count of 3 who our favourite Aunt Viv was. 3, 2, 1.
Dark skin. There wasn't much of a competition.
Light skin Aunt Viv was barely in it.
No, she wasn't. And dark skin, she had a character. Light skin.
She was. I can't remember a single episode where she was Aunt Viv. I can remember lots of episodes where dark skin Aunt Viv was.
Yeah, I remember when she was dancing and she was doing ballet and She just I loved her in that role, but there was that. And then also if you watch Girlfriends, they swapped out the boyfriend. I can't remember what his name was. I don't know what his name was.
I was gonna say Arnez, but I'm thinking of One-on-One.
I was gonna say Dante. That's right.
I think it was Darnez.
Darnell, yeah. We got there almost.
Dante and Arnez.
If you listen to our podcast, you know that we struggle with names.
Yeah, we didn't have to look that one up.
No, we didn't. Thank God.
But I'm really looking forward. The reason why I put this in my box is because I think we need more just charismatic, tried and tested comedians on our screens. Yeah. Give us something hearty. Yeah. Give us something that we're going to be like, yes.
If you listen to some of our previous podcasts, we have issues with comedians just not being comedic.
Yeah.
In a sitcom.
Yeah,
Even
I
though
will
it's a
say
girl's
this,
Giggles
though.
right to be comedic. Yeah.
Coach was my least favourite
Same.
of the boys on New Girl.
Same.
But I think it was the character.
Yeah, he
I don't think it
shouted
was
too
him.
much.
Yeah, and I think also Winston is so lovable.
Yeah.
And so is Nick. And to some extent, so is Schmidt.
Schmidt was my favourite.
Schmidt was my favourite.
Yeah.
The coach came in and I was like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Like I like the other boys.
No.
But I feel like he just didn't have enough time for us to dig into him like we've dug into.
To bed
Because
into.
early Nick, early Nick's not great.
Early Nick is annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Winston's perfect the whole time.
Winston to me was background. He was wallpaper for the first couple of seasons.
Don't ever say that about
I'm
Winston
sorry,
before.
I'm not even gonna lie. He was.
Frank Sinatra.
He had some funny moments, but he was always reflecting. He was reflecting off Schmidt.
Don't ever speak of
He was
Winston like that.
reflected off Schmidt.
Don't ever
Schmidt
speak of
carried that
Winston
show.
like that.
It wasn't what's her face either. Adorable Zoe Deschanel.
I think Megan Fox carried the show.
Oh please! How dare you?
Literally, how dare I?
How dare
But I'm looking forward to this show.
Yeah.
I hope we can watch it in the UK because
Watch.
some of these streamers are moving mad.
They
So I'm
are.
moving on to my flop of the year.
Wait, actually, what platform is that sitcom going to be on?
I don't know.
Great, fantastic, great research.
Do your own googling. I can't be doing everything for you guys. You got to learn to be resourceful.
Also, was this news for 2023 or 2022?
It was news in 2022.
Oh.
It's going to come out in 2023.
Okay, well, when it comes out, whatever platform, we'll find it. We may review it.
Now time for my flop.
Okay.
And my flop is streamers releasing stuff in the US and then making us wait 14 years in the UK.
Drag them.
Why have I subscribed to Disney Plus? Watched the first season of Abbott Elementary. I'm sitting at home seeing tweets about Abbott Elementary season 2 is so good. Wow, wow, wow. And silence on Disney Plus.
To me, that's confusing. I don't understand why.
Why has the whole season, the whole final season of Atlanta aired, and we're still sitting here, no airing date for the UK even announced?
What series? Series 5?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, bro. I need to catch up with the others.
Silence on when it's coming here. I've googled this several times.
Yeah.
I googled it when it started airing in the US. I
Yeah.
googled it just before Christmas, and I googled it in 2023. When is this coming out?
I thought it's maybe something to do with the licensing, but it's not they're sending the show to Netflix.
It's your own streaming platform.
I think they may be sending it to another terrestrial, which is
It's not on. The only person that used to air Atlanta was the BBC, but they then took it off the BBC because they put it on.
That's
Disney Plus.
why I'm confused by it. You need to fix up because Hey You are able to show every single reality show. The Real Housewives, it will air on the US on the Sunday, and then the Monday it's available.
And this is a very niche one.
Yeah.
But Drag Race in the UK used to be on Netflix. It then moved back to VH1 and then was airing on Netflix a day later, which means that you've got to not be on Twitter for the whole day if you don't want to get spoilers. Now it's on Wow Presents.
What's that?
I'm a specific streaming service
No.
for Drag Race. I don't want to knock Wow Presents because if it wasn't Wow Presents, we wouldn't have Drag Race. But I don't think it makes sense for me to download a whole streaming platform to watch one show when all the old seasons are still on Netflix.
That's so interesting.
And now it's moved back to MTV and I still have to wait until it comes on Wow Presents to watch it.
Someone in the licensing team needs to do some work.
It's not making sense.
No, it's not. I think Hey You, for instance, is a smaller platform. Terrible. Performance and the service on that platform is bad, but it has a lot of housewives and I do like it, and I can't find it anywhere else. That's the reason I go for it. Even Peacock in the UK, disastrous, because it's available on Sky. You can't watch any of the stuff that is available on Peacock in the US. It takes forever for it to come onto the UK platform. So I don't know what it is. I think a lot of these big broadcasters were trying to get into the streaming game because they saw the success of Netflix, and they've still not married up where the content is coming from, honestly. And and
If
also
you've got one or
there's
two
bigger
hit shows, and your streaming platform isn't going to be the sole place where you can watch those things, Don't do it.
No, don't do it at all. I think I saw like Lionsgate Plus. I was like, fam.
I saw that and I said, this
come
is
on,
crazy.
come on, guys.
So you can watch one show, which is the great. And then every other show that they advertised was a version of that show. I said, this is crazy.
No, come on, guys.
This is crazy. I'd rather never watch that show again.
We're now going back to linear TV. When
Literally. Literally. We are going to end up with 18, 19, 20 subscriptions when I could have just got Sky.
Yeah.
And I could have got 900 channels.
And then spending through the nose for it. I think it's hard because at least with Netflix, when it's released everywhere, in most places. Disney Plus, if it's not for the shows that I loved before, and if you don't love all the Marvel, Star Wars stuff, if you have all the FX and the drama stuff, it's going to be hit and miss, really hit and miss if you want to watch the newer stuff, which I think is just disappointing. But I think it will just take some years for these streaming platforms to kind of bed in and understand what the content is and where the money's coming from, because some of them are not making money on the streaming platforms.
No.
They're going back to linear because they're getting bigger bags there.
What's going to happen is we are in flop era of streamers, and some of these streamers are going to start announcing their deaths pretty soon.
It's deaths and consolidation. You will see,
because it's not making sense.
Yeah.
If at any point I find myself spending £60 a month on TV,
go back
I'm
to Sky.
bidding the whole thing and getting Sky.
Go back to Sky.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Because that doesn't make sense.
No. But I get what you mean. I feel like this year and in the next couple of years, you will see a lot of streaming platforms consolidate. Like, for instance, Discovery Plus has consolidated and will be consolidating a number of different platforms into one. Disney Plus in America, you can pay for Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN all in one package. So it's all consolidated. Paramount Plus I haven't heard too much about, but they've got big bucks, so we'll see. I really want to watch The Flat Share.
Why?
It looks interesting. It's the only show on Paramount Plus I'm like, maybe.
Well, you'd let me know how that goes.
I don't know. I think they have a free trial, so maybe
yeah.
But I feel like I need to use that free trial for something worthwhile. I don't know if The Flat Share is.
You don't think it will be?
I don't think it's worthwhile. But yeah.
Another bop of this year, Zendaya, Quinta Bronson, Cheryl Lee Ralph and Lizzo winning Emmys in the same ceremony in 2022.
Yes.
That week was a bop, actually.
That's a bop.
That was a bop.
Yeah, it was a bop.
Do you know what wasn't a bop?
What?
Every single ceremony of 2022.
I have a flop to add to that.
What was the flop?
Or a bop, depending on how you look at it.
What was the flop?
Because I 100% agree. All ceremonies were in their flop era.
They were in their flop era.
And perfectly honest, for the last how many years?
Yeah.
How many?
There's something about award ceremonies.
Try.
I honestly think the fall of award ceremonies was when they announced that La La Land won Best Picture, and then it turned out that actually it was Moonlight. From that moment on, every single ceremony has been cursed. There's not been one good ceremony since, because that was such a flop. That was the biggest flop. And that was even after Kanye West did his whole I'ma let you finish. That was peak ceremony.
Exactly, yes.
At that point, there was a freeway kiss between Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and Madonna. We were still going up. It was still going up.
Yeah.
What's his name saying?
Kanye.
Kanye saying Beyonce had the best video of all time. Beyonce announcing.
Oh yeah, she was pregnant.
Like,
yes.
Award ceremonies when
Lil Mama came on stage with Kanye. With Jay-Z and Alicia Keys.
So many great things happened.
Yeah.
So many great things was happening. Awards were things that you actually did want to watch. Like, you're like, oh, I want to watch a ceremony because I don't want to have to catch up tomorrow when something crazy happens. The point where the bubble burst was... Hold on a second. No, actually... and this was at the point La La Land had made their way onto the stage.
They were hugging each other and celebrating.
They took the envelope. What possessed them? Because I personally would have been like, we won. I wouldn't even look at the envelope. He picked up the envelope. He said... Hold on a second, no, it was actually Moonlight.
It was Moonlight, and he shoves the card in front of the audience.
Moonlight.
Come on down, come up.
One person clapping, the other people on the stage like...
No, they were still like, wait, what just happened? We're just celebrating, what's going on?
Moonlight being like...
What is going on?
Like, do we get up? Like, what's going on? Messy.
That was messy.
Boots.
But it got people talking.
It did get people talking.
Maybe for some people they may see this as a bop because it actually got people talking.
I think I know.
But it's 100% a massive flop. Will Smith.
Yeah.
Slapping.
Yeah.
Chris Rock on national, global television at the Oscar Awards was probably the biggest pop culture moment for me for the whole year.
Do you know
biggest one.
Why that was that heralded the all ceremonies have reached flop era?
Yeah.
Was the fact that Will Smith didn't even hesitate.
Fam.
The importance of award ceremonies had diminished so much that he thought, I can just get up and slap this dude. It will make no difference.
It's true. And
It
also,
will make no difference to the ceremony whatsoever.
Also, I feel like before in ceremonies, if you've gone to an awards show before, there is this type of like demarcation between the stage and the audience. Really, like the stage is herald, like you look up to the audience. Sorry, you look up to the stage, you look down to the audience. And there's a demarcation. Only winners and hosts go up there. How can you go, you know what? You've been chatting about my wife cheating. Let me step on these steps, walk up and come and slap you.
The other thing that's crazy is the walk up to Chris Rock was so short. It's like, why has he put Chris Rock in danger? Why is he so close to the audience? That all Will Smith had to do is climb up some stairs, 1-2 slap.
They wanted to
1-2 slap.
They wanted him to be approachable.
Because if you think about it, maybe if it'd been a longer walk, he would have got on the stage and then got to Chris Rock and be like, hey man, stop it now, because you're making me sad. And that would have been the end of it. Instead, it was too quick. 1-2, he was like, oh, I'm here now. I've got to commit. Slap Chris Rock. Worst thing is, Chris Rock is laughing up until he gets to him. He's like, slap. The worst time to be slapped. Slap when I'm feeling joy. When I'm smiling laughing.
But it's the thing, I think we've all been in that, not in that situation where someone walks up to you and slaps you. But you know, there's periods where you see something's about to happen and you are like, it can't be real, until it happens and you're like, wait, what?
I don't think that happens to me.
I feel like okay, you're just stunned, like, oh, it's not gonna happen. I feel like I'm using a slap because I feel like, not I've been slapped in the face, but I've seen someone get slapped and they're like, oh no, it's not.
I don't think actually, I do think of something. There was one time, listeners, little backstory about Shoshanna and Marnie. There was one time where Shoshanna had a bit of a problem with the girl at school. This girl at school would make little snide comments about Shoshanna. I think she thought Shoshanna was an easy target. Shoshanna... She was wrong. She wasn't really having it, but we were like, LOL, Shoshanna, what are you going to do? And one day, we were in drama, and for some reason, the trend of this year was like throwing people's things either in the bin or like far away. We went to a girls' school. So we didn't throw hands, we threw belongings. That year I threw one of my best friend's shoes in the bin because she put my bag over the bin and I thought she'd put it in, so I dropped her shoes. Don't play with me. Yeah. If you're going to do it, you better do it because I'm going to do it. What that happens. And then we didn't talk to each other for like a week. Love that drama. Love those high school dramas. But this girl was really starting with Shoshanna, and Shoshanna, silent assassin, was like, I've reached my limit with this, actually. Yeah. She picked up this girl's... She didn't even say, I'm going to do this. She picked up her bag and threw her bag in the bushes and said, go get your bag, you cow. Which, if you know Shoshanna, that was... She might as well have just called that girl the C word. She might as well said, listen to me, go get your fucking bag, you dumb. That was what her saying, you cow. When Shoshanna threw the bag, me and my other friend were like... We were like, oh, she's mad. She's mad. And the girl in question was like, oh my God, can you believe she threw... I said, leave me out of this now. I'm not getting involved. You're on your own, because I don't mind bag throwing in those, but she had to crawl her ass in those bushes. I don't regret it. And I know Shoshanna doesn't. I don't. And in hindsight, I was right. In massive hindsight, I was right. I was shocked. I said... That's how I like to do. And do you know what? I wouldn't change a thing. Neither would I. I support that. I completely support it. Point, Shoshanna very quietly said, "Don't mess with me." Yeah. This is a message to the world. It's not even a message just to this girl. If you don't want to end up crawling in the bushes to get your bag, watch your mouth. I think this is a couple of podcasts ago that I have a feeling about. That's people. Why Shoshanna's not chill. No. As you heard in my previous podcast, I'm a very, very chill person. But like, I do have a sense about people if they're full of BS. And that girl was. And I knew it then. And in hindsight, as in here in present, she is. So I'm right. And I would chuck her shoes, her coat, her bag, her scarf, blazer, and her gloves
into that bushes all over again. No, I'm not throwing hands. I'm a very chill person. I wouldn't do that. And I would not call
anybody a cow again.
No, I've called people worse.
I'm sure you have.
But any of the bleep stuff that we...
She said, you fugly... Go get your shit out the bushes.
I would never say that.
You dumb.
Never said. But yeah, that to me was that period. I think even if I remember it, if I can, like I know that it was a joke until that moment it switched, and I was like, nah, for real.
It wasn't really a joke because the thing is,
I really want to chuck in the bushes.
Yeah. If we're going to talk about it, you guys weren't mates. Like the rest of us were being like, ha 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 ha. That wasn't a joke. That was real beef.
Yeah.
That was real tension.
Yeah. And
when that bag was thrown, the tension was released.
Yeah.
She said,
done. And likewise, when Will Smith went to Chris Rock and slapped him in the face, like, don't mess with me. And then he did sit down and say, get my wife's name out of your bleep mouth.
He actually said that first before he got up.
No,
he said it first before he got up.
No, I thought he was.
He slapped him last. That was the last thing that happened.
But why would he slap him? No, he said it that.
He said keep my wife's name out of your mouth. No, and Chris was like, oh, it's a joke, and then he got up on the stage.
No, I swear it was the other way around.
So Shoshanna is right. He said it after he slapped him.
You know why I remember? Because the deafening silence. He repeated it twice. Like, get my wife's name out of your bleeping mouth. Then he said, get my wife's name out of your bleeping mouth. And he shouted it. The second time, that silence told everyone it was serious. The same way when I chucked those shoes in those bushes, everyone knew I was for real.
Go.
But it's not on the same level.
But now, it's so much weirder because I thought it was... Has this changed my mind on the situation? Yes and no. Because I thought it was we're sitting down, you cuss my wife, I say, keep my wife's name out of your mouth. You're like, ha ha ha, it's a joke. And then I get up because I'm like, you're not taking it seriously. I'm going to come up and teach you. Whereas it's actually weirder to me you make a joke about my wife, then I get up.
And slap you.
No, nothing. I've not said anything. That's crazy. That's why it's not making sense in my head.
The whole thing didn't make sense. We just watched, for those we were watching the video again just to remind ourselves, had over 100 million views. But also, I think that next year, the chairs, the seats and the stage will be big distance.
You have to climb over a stairs, climb up a ladder to get to
It's the last obstacle for you to win your awards.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy. So yeah, that to me is the standout moment. Bop and flop. Actually, you know what? The flop was him slapping him. The flop was everything that happened afterwards in terms of
the think pieces,
the fact that there was threats about revoking his Oscar because he did win an Oscar. That was a bop. Will Smith won an Oscar.
What the flop was even more was that the flop came before the bop.
Well, exactly.
So now you can't even really bask in the bop because everyone's like, why did you just slap someone?
And then after the point, he's there just he's there not slapping, but he's there just like having a good time, chopping bread, chopping shapes, like dancing around, and everyone was just like, what just happened? It was very surreal.
It just felt very manic. Like I couldn't keep up with it, and I think the thing that was really weird to me was so many people writing about how this personally affected them. I was like, it didn't personally affect you at all because you were in your house and you didn't get slapped. Shut up. Yeah. Like, you're throwing that girlie's bag in the bushes did affect me because I had to watch it. Yeah. And we were friends, so when she was like, I can't believe she did that. Yeah. I had to be like to her, I mean, to be honest, you are asking for it. Yeah. And that put me in a difficult position because I had to pick a side. Whereas me in my house watching this, I'm not on either one of you side. I don't know either one of you. I don't care about this. This is Hollywood drama. This is what we expect from Hollywood. I'm not crying about it. I will not forget, in our group chat, people weighing in on like whether or not this was like what does this mean for black people? Enough.
I was going to say that. I think I was one of the people that said that. I felt it was like a bad look because in Hollywood, there are not many...
No, there's not.
...successful black actors in the same era or realm as a Will Smith. And he has worked incredibly hard to get to that status that he is today. And it's one of those things where people, when he does one mistake or when he does something wrong, that's the first thing they'll bring up, his black card. The same way, like, I think we were joking about it a few podcasts ago about like when Formation came out with Beyonce and people remembered that Beyonce was black. Mm-hmm. And then there was that SNL skit about it. And I felt like with this slap, he was like, oh, actually, remember Will Smith's black. And I was like, well, he made a mistake. He was angry. I mean, these guys were asking for it. My guy was sitting on red table talk crying about August Alsina. So you really, you created the foundation. I'm not saying that it was right because Chris Rock, like, it shouldn't have happened. Like, the joke was a joke. But the response and the slap was out of order.
My issue really, I think in reading all those think pieces, I was like, the idea that like black people have to be infallible is, I bump up against that. I find it really annoying. I find it really, like, we think that we're moving forward and we're really progressive as people, but as soon as a black person makes a mistake, we're calling on their race and how they have to be an example in X, Y, and Z. And white people be doing wild shit and still be winning awards. Johnny Depp, all the drama that he's been in, got to be in Rihanna's Fenty show. So what are we really talking about? Yeah. You're writing a full 2,000-page essay about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, two adult men, backing people who've done much worse to continue to do much worse in the industry. I don't like the conversations that surround black people if they want to be mediocre, if they want to make a mistake, because it just draws attention to just how unequal things are. White people make mistakes all the time and it doesn't affect them long term. Talking about taking away his Oscar, removing him from the Academy, it was
ridiculous. Mind you, how many predators, pedophiles do you have?
Weinstein hasn't even been removed from the Academy, and he's literally in prison.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? Like, it's infuriating, and that's what bothered me. Yeah. Whether or not, obviously, we're not condoning violence. Violence is never good. So for that reason to be like, he shouldn't have slapped him, fair enough. I think that is a good take. But having to bring up he's a role model to the black community, as if black people have never slapped.
Yeah, black people have slapped other black people, just not on a global stage.
And white people be slapping other white people.
Oh, fam.
So now what?
So many times.
People be slapping people.
Can you imagine if Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock, he slaps like a white comedian. Who's a white comedian? A white male comedian. Ricky Gervais.
Adam Sandler.
Oh my gosh. Has Ricky Gervais...
I mean, if he slapped Ricky Gervais, people would love that.
They probably would have.
People don't love to not like him. Yeah.
No, Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler, I think people would be really upset.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
But also, I think a part of them would be like, he probably deserved it. There's something about Chris Rock that people feel like, oh, poor Chris Rock. The man is a millionaire. Yeah. I don't feel sorry for millionaires.
I think he was saying there's a lot of trauma that happened afterwards. But I think it was because
everyone was roasting him.
Yeah, he was roasted. He was surprised. I think he still whiplash to this very day by what happened.
That's
I was gonna say that moment was 100% flop. But mind you, Black Twitter was the bop of all time. Black Twitter. When I tell you how the group chat was. There was many group chats I was in. I had group chats with some of the thought pieces, some of the questions about, the racial identity and what this means for his career. I know that I was putting some commentary into that as well. But then I had another side of group chats where it was just tweets and memes and gifs and all this stuff with the slap. And I'm telling you, I laughed. And it's not funny, but it was. Black Twitter, they're so quick and so fast.
Yeah, so quick.
So quick and so fast. They are up there with Bops 2022, just with the swiftness. I know we get
some great TikToks.
Absolutely. Really I know there is a stereotype a bit about black people time, but when you see Black Twitter, we are on time. We are early.
We're there before it even happens.
Before it even happens, we see the trend. We are ready and waiting to go.
It's, yeah. I would say one of the bops of this year is just the discourse online makes everything. Bop and the flop.
Oh, absolutely.
The flop is the people doing think pieces. Shut up. The people with the memes, absolutely. That's it.
Just
The internet's for memes, not for serious takes.
It's memes and dancing.
And hairstyles.
Yeah.
Honestly, girlies making wigs in 15 minutes.
Where's the hair community? Where's the makeup community?
I don't want to see TikToks that are like, what Will Smith slap has done for the black indigenous community. No. Delete. Next. Swipe left. Block. Report. This is a fun platform for fun.
Oh God.
Shall I tell you what my next bop is?
Go on.
This is a weird bop for me because, as you know, I actually don't enjoy the discourse about these people. But Prince Harry's love for Meghan Markle. It's a bop.
I put that. Yeah.
if a guy was riding so hard for me that he said, I'm going to bin my family, like just bin it, sack the whole thing off the, I'd be like, wow. A part of me would also be like, ooh.
Yeah, like, it's too much.
I don't know if I want to just be me and you all the time.
You know that there's some relationships where they're like, you're in the relationship, each person should have friends and should have family. They should have friends that they can go to apart from the other person. Yeah. It'd be suffocating.
Yes, but in all seriousness, I think him choosing to put her mental health, her security, her well-being before the establishment, I highly rate. Do I find them to just be an incredibly annoying couple? Yes, absolutely. Not because I dislike Meghan, not because I even dislike Harry. I just don't feel like I should know all of the details of their relationship. I don't want to know all the details of any relationship, if I'm being completely honest. And I think that the way the establishment, and by that I mean the media in this country, went so hard after her, I get why they feel like they have to use the media to get the truth across. Yeah. But I just also feel like, I'm sure you left the royal family to have a sense of privacy and security and safeness in your couple that you didn't have when the paps were down your throats all the time. So to then be sharing so much, it kind of feels like, to me, like it's defeating the process. Like, why don't you guys just like be living your life and be happy, innit? Leave those guys.
Two things. Did you watch the documentary?
No.
So I watched the documentary.
I'll tell you what I watched.
Yeah.
I watched a snippet of an interview where he talked about Meghan's increasing like anxiety and depression when they were still with the royal family, and she was pregnant, and she started having suicidal ideations, because that I wasn't like I just really haven't tried to weigh in too much. I find the people who are obsessed with them kind of weird. I find the people who hate them racist, and I just don't want to I didn't want to know too much because I don't want to get involved. But watching that interview and hearing how like she's telling him that while she's pregnant, he's worried for her, but then they had to go and do their stupid royal family duty, so be outside and pretend that everything was fine, was really interesting to me, because I was like, yeah, I don't know how anyone survives this thing.
It's history repeating itself, because Diana had the exact same issue.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
had the same suicidal thoughts while she was pregnant, I think, with Harry.
And I think the weird thing is that, like, I don't know, because I genuinely don't think they're human. Like the royal family, I think they're a machine, and they serve the machine, and that's what they do. But like, if I had sons and they had lost their mother due to this thing, and then I could see that, history might be, I would do everything in my power, even if they weren't my sons, if they were my grandchildren, if they were my cousins, if they were my nephews, I would try and do what I can to protect them from that. And the fact that they were really just sort of like, well, you know, it is what it is crazy to me.
So I watched the documentary, and it was very insightful. When I first saw the teaser and the trailer come out, I thought, first question, like, why are you doing this? Because they, like what you said before, like there is an assumption that they went and left the royal family because of privacy, or the need for privacy, protecting their family. And I still get that. On the flip side, I also understand that when they left the royal family, they left completely financially independent. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Harry probably still has a chunk of change, and also Meghan had money from her previous career. But I think for them, it was like, how else can they sustain, and do they lean back into media, because they are profiles, they are international profiles? Can they lead into it? And hence, you know, the partnerships with Netflix, the partnerships with Spotify, etc. So there is that aspect. What I would say is the first half of the documentary that came out in the first week, it didn't put them in the best light. What was clear, and I think it's clear throughout the whole documentary, like you said, in the Bop, is that he loves her immensely. And like when I was watching it at times, I was like, wow, are there men out there who really like would devote their lives to their wife? Even though, that being said, like, make sure you have friends, like make sure you have other people, because it can't just be me. But it was very sweet at times to just see this very normal couple who fell in love in this weird way, or in this weird world where they had to be secret for like the first like 3 months of their relationship, just getting to know each other, and then her taking the risk of being like part of this family, because really and truly, has she preempted even a slither of what actually ended up happening? And if I could see the future and I saw that, I'd be like, bruh, you're not that good. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go and find someone else and live a peaceful life. I'm only on Suits, like no one's really stalking me. I love Suits though.
So my family started watching this on the documentary on Christmas Day and then abandoned it. Yeah. But it was really interesting to hear the discourse of like the older generation being like, well, she should have known marrying into the royal family what she was getting herself in for. And I was like, well, no, because this is 2022, or at least 2020 or 2019 when this was happening. I don't think she anticipated that she would be actively reviled by the British media, and that revulsion would be supported by her new family. Like it's not. I don't think it is something you can anticipate. It's like when you meet. I don't know if this has ever happened to anyone else, but like you have a friend and they're like, "Oh, come meet my family. My granddad's kind of racist."
Never had that.
Okay.
Yeah, never.
That's never happened to me either. Well, not racist. Well, my granddad's old fashioned.
Oh yeah,
My granddad's old fashioned.
He's never met a black person in his life.
Yeah, and then you meet them and they're wild. And you're like, well, you never said this. Oh, you said he was a little bit old fashioned. Yeah. You didn't say he was gonna pinch my bum. Like, what the hell are you talking about? I feel like it's that. We're gonna go, oh, my family have traditions. They're, this and that, whatever. But you've met him. Yeah. You fall in love with him, and it wasn't like that. So you just assume, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna join this family. You'll be like,
remember, when you marry a guy or when you marry a girl, you're marrying their family too.
But I also think it's a little bit victim blaming. That narrative of she should have known.
No,
because it takes away the idea that like those people are still responsible for the way that they behave.
Exactly.
Like just because you belong to an institution doesn't mean that you can make me suicidal.
Yeah, and then in the same breath,
that's not cool.
I think a lot of people are like, oh, she should have known what the British royal family was.
How?
No,
she's not
She's not British.
I'm British, and I don't think I knew the lengths to which that they would sink.
Exactly.
Because when all that stuff was happening with Diana, I was literally 4 years old.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any.
That's like.
I don't. It's not in my living memory. Yes, I remember her funeral, but I don't remember what she experienced.
Yeah, and the lead up to it and all that, and a lot of the controversy that led up to it. A lot of people are now aware of it because of things like The Crown.
Yeah, exactly.
But you didn't know the ins and outs, or the depth of it, and even The Crown is supposed to be a fictionalized portrayal of the royal family. So I feel like. For me, that argument about she should have known, I can't really stand by that, because she probably didn't. She was very naive, don't get me wrong. And one thing, when I was watching the documentary, it was very clear that Harry had a responsibility to prepare her more, and I don't think he did enough of that. It was more like, I love her, she's amazing, and you will love her. But actually, like, you should have prepared her, because Harry was aware of what happened. Harry was, to some degree, he was aware of what happened with his mum. He was aware about the institution and how his family behaves, and it maybe, not necessarily about the whole Meghan coming in and her being quote unquote, her being black or mixed race. It's the fact that
it's not quote unquote black.
No, her being
may or may not be.
No, but her being mixed race, but it's the fact that he should have prepared her about the whole traditions, the whole courtesy
but all
thing.
of that stuff is fucking stupid. Let's be honest. You don't hate someone, but you don't hate someone based on something like that.
No, that's the thing.
Do you know what I mean? You make a mistake. African people have traditions all the time. Yeah. Nigerian people, when they greet an elder, do little bops. Yeah. That's not everything it's called that. But you do courtesy. You do little courtesy.
I think that with your grandma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't do that with my elders. Yeah. So it's possible that I could meet your mum and your mum could be like, oh, she's quite rude, she didn't. But I don't think your mum would be like, I hate that girl. I'm going to commit my life now to destroy it. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not saying that everyone should do vitriol and hate Harry and Meghan for that, but I'm just saying some of the arguments that they have used against Meghan, I do think when I was watching the documentary, it was just very clear that Meghan was naive to begin with, and it's understandable. You're in a new family, you're falling in love with the love of your life, and then Harry, there could have been a bit more work to be done to just prepare her, especially given that he has seen previous relationship that he had been in, but also the way that, like, I hate to use a comparison, but the way Kate was treated when she first started getting together with Will, and then they broke up, and then there was that period where she was doing nothing much with her life and just waiting to be queen.
Look, I'm gonna say something super controversial.
No, but all I'm gonna say is, like, Harry did have a duty of care with her. I do remember the period where the public loved Meghan, absolutely loved her. Then you saw the microaggressions of the press, and I think actually if you watch the second half of the documentary, you realise it wasn't all about privacy, even though it got to a point where they needed to be more private, especially when the kids got involved and when they started to have more kids. But also, it was more of the hatred and the conflicts with the press versus the royal family, and how the royal family as an institution wasn't doing enough to protect them, because Meghan was the quote-unquote biggest star and biggest face of the institution, and actually that should be reserved to the Queen, or that should be reserved to some of the monarchs in waiting. So I just felt like if you actually watch the full documentary, and holistically, you'll see the issue is the press. And then the Jeremy Clarkson thing happened, and this proved why there is so much hatred between Harry and Meghan and the press, and it wasn't around the royal family per se.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not just the royal family. It's definitely the media. But the media, I think. Here's my controversial take. Bin the whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah.
Bin the whole thing. This has been a garbage year for the institution of the royal family. Queen's death aside. And obviously the Jubilee was fun because we got an extra bank holiday.
Woo-hoo.
But the fact that Prince Andrew is still just walking around doing Prince Andrew type stuff. There was a news article recently that Charles has been like, hey man, you gotta go somewhere else.
Yeah, because he kicked him out.
You're bringing the whole thing down. Is crazy to me. And then the way that they treated Meghan Markle just cemented to me that we shouldn't have a monarchy still. It's 2022. We pay taxes so that these people can live. Let them go.
Yeah, I think if we're going to have a monarchy, it needs to be like those other countries, like in Holland, where there is a king and queen, but they do nothing.
No, we're not. I don't think we should have a monarchy. I think we let the House of Windsor be the House of Windsor. Yay! That's it. We open up the palace. It's now basically
a museum.
Windsor Castle, go there, do what you want. They don't own any of this shit. It's ours. Everything that's theirs is ours. And we're done with it, because why do these people have us in a chokehold?
Yeah.
Why am I don't watch daytime TV now, because you can't turn it on, even in the background while you're cleaning, without people being like, Meghan Markle, Prince Charles is about to, Camilla. I don't want to hear about any of these people. There are actual real people in this country who are trying to save lives, who are trying to do things that are important, and we don't get to know about them, but we have to be listening to, and what's Prince Charles going to wear when King Charles going to wear at his coronation? Like, I don't want to call him King Charles, I don't want to call him Prince Charles, I don't want to know about this. I want my bank holiday, and that's that.
Yeah. I think it's been a crazy year for the royal family, and that was the other thing about the timing of the documentary. I'm going back to the documentary again, but I don't think it should have aired this year. That documentary should. They probably recorded that documentary at the beginning. They said they recorded the documentary in August of 2022. They could have held it for another extra year, or they could have held it for an extra 6 months. It didn't need to come out.
And now
only
Harry's
2
got
months.
a book coming out, and the book is in the book he details the fact that him and Will.
Thoughts, yeah.
I mean, I don't know why we need to know all these details.
I think some of it is just money, but like, that's why I don't know. It's like they know that they're gonna get hatred from the press and from certain areas of society. I don't know if they want to feed it or they just want to keep on defending themselves. I would just love them to just do the charitable work that they do, because it's incredibly inspiring. Actually, seeing some of the things that Meghan was doing in the lead up to her getting married to Harry, and also the way that she had done her charitable works in the past, it was actually very inspiring. And I wish she had just gone down that route, or they'd gone and done something like the UN and just gone down that route than the media, because it's just toxic. You know that the media is toxic. You know that the royal family influenced the media, the rota, as was described.
If you're being petty. I'm not going to let you have the last word. Like, because the machine of it is incredibly powerful. Like, you would have people being like, I don't like her. And you'd ask them why. Like, oh, because Why? Because you're every day being fed headlines with no substance about how she blinked weird.
Yeah.
So I think that Harry's love for Meghan is a bop. I think the institution is a flop. And speaking of institutions, British institutions that have been flops this year.
Go on.
The government. I feel like people have all forgotten. We had 3 prime ministers last year.
That became comedic.
We had 3 different prime ministers last year. One of them lasted, 2 weeks?
No, she was just on the 4 weeks. No, sorry, 6 if you include. I'm so sorry, it's just actually so bad.
It's not funny. We were all laughing, but it's really not funny. Like, think about the state of democracy where we can have 3 prime ministers in 1 year and we didn't elect a single one of them.
No, fam, no.
Like, think about that. Okay, fine. Boris Johnson won the election, fair and square, had the job. His party lost confidence in him. I'm sorry, I think if you have a vote of no confidence, you should not get... It should just go to fucking vote.
No, exactly. Do you know what made me laugh? Out of everything that Boris Johnson did.
Yeah.
Everything. And we don't talk about politics on this podcast very much. No. Go and do your research. This guy has been in scandal upon scandal. Yeah. What was it? It was a mix between Partygate from COVID.
Yeah.
And then one of his parties, one of his MPs...
Roped 2 young men.
Yeah. Those are the 2 things. And they're both incredibly serious. So we're not going to downplay
I actually don't think it was Partygate. I genuinely think it was just the second thing.
Yeah, it's more that. They're both very serious. But it was that put the nail in his coffin. My guy has said so many discriminatory, racist things. Him as a person had done that. It wasn't his... Because to me... They were using it, they wanted a scapegoat, and he became that scapegoat for this incident. But actually, it's the MP's fault, and he should be punished for it, and he should be in jail. But it was that was used as a scapegoat to get rid of him. But really and truly, Boris has done so many different and almost detrimental things for the government and for the UK, and he should have been removed many years ago. He shouldn't have even won to begin with.
I think what we're not acknowledging, right now as we talk about this, is the fact that the British public were perfectly happy to elect Boris Johnson with his numerous scandals to Prime Minister. So him and all of the stuff he'd done to this point, we collectively, and I say we, I didn't, but at least half of the population said collectively, this is perfectly fine.
We have faith in you,
This is who we want to be in charge. I think for me, the point where I was like, I lost faith in the public was when money had been allotted during COVID to companies to provide PPE, to provide gloves, to provide like things that we needed at the time, who then never delivered on the things they were supposed to provide, and all turned out to be mates of Boris Johnson.
Surprise, freaking surprise.
And this was reported in the news. We all went, oh, that's messed up. Why is there not a court case about this? What do you mean? We basically elected a person who gave his friends free money. And now he's living it up on the Costa del Sol. What is he doing?
Living life.
When they were doing the hustings for, what is her name? Liz Truss.
Liz Truss, yeah.
When they were going to replace Liz Truss, he was like, I might throw my hat into the ring.
If he came back,
That's when you knew I was like, everything about this country is
a joke.
It's fucked now.
Absolute
because
joke.
I'm sorry, if you've had to replace your prime minister 2 times in a year, you don't have confidence in your party. Yeah. Because, okay, fair enough, you make a mistake the first time. How have you done it again the second time in the same year? You guys, we don't have confidence in you as a party.
People are begging for a general election, but they still have power until 2024, and they will clinch onto that power. The same way Boris Johnson, he was going to hold on to that title to the bitter end. And I'm like, the country is suffering because of the decisions of only a small select of quote-unquote privileged people who do not understand British society.
The saddest thing about this is still, I do not have confidence in Keir Starmer to take over from the Tory government. I feel like we're going from, as my nan would say, Frying pan to fire.
Why?
From frying pan to another frying pan to another fire.
That's been this whole year. We've been bouncing from frying pans. Frying pan to saucer to lettuce. Can you imagine a lettuce beat Liz Truss in terms of
how long it could live? How long it could survive, honey?
That whole period when the Queen passed away, and there was a photo with Liz Truss,
Liz Truss killed her.
Boris Johnson and the Queen. There was a photo with Liz Truss, Boris Johnson, and the Queen, and the way that Twitter again was going off, like
Twitter
that was it.
Mad.
She just needed to see this, and she's like, you know what, peace. I'm out.
There was a tweet I remember. I saw it again the other day. That was like, oh, the lettuce one, it outlived Liz Truss, and it's a picture of Harry Styles in an all green outfit. And I was like, work, bitch. And that, the epitome of what those tweets were like at that time. It was just people, it had reached such a level of ridiculousness that taking it seriously didn't make sense. No. But also, like, it was almost like we were living in an episode of The Thick of It. Like, it didn't feel real. So it's about...
Yeah, but I get it.
Yeah. It didn't feel real. It was all like Veep. Like, there was a period in time where Veep had accidentally foretold
what was
going to happen in American politics. Yeah. And I feel like we were there again for a moment. It's like, we have just reached a time where, like, our votes mean nothing. Our government stands for nothing. So many vital systems in our society do not function well at all. And instead of that being the focus, we are spending our days being like, what idiot's going to replace the last idiot? There is not one smart person in that party. No. There is not one person who's like, politics aside, friendships aside, power aside, we need to get the country back up and running.
It's about the people.
We are not functioning.
Yeah.
Like, COVID happened, we opened the doors, everyone was like, yeah, we're back in the world. I feel like the government is still in lockdown because it's not making sense. No. Waiting times in the hospital, garbage. After what we asked our healthcare system to do for us during 2020, for it to be worse off now than it was then,
Lord,
it's embarrassing.
Every day in December was a strike of some kind in this country.
It's still going.
And it's ongoing. We are now living in regular train strikes.
Yeah.
Regular train and tube strikes. Today was a train strike. There was no trains for me to even come to Marnie's house.
No.
The Royal Mail went on strike. Nurses went on strike. Teachers went on strike. They're still continuing. Doctors probably will go on strike this year. It's actually nuts.
And do you know what? Instead of telling us, oh, we'll need to raise taxes, go and collect the money you gave to those people and give it to where it should have gone. Yeah. Because why is an independent person who had never in their life ran a business that made or provided PPE suddenly in a position where they can apply for a government subsidy for a business that they invented yesterday? Yeah. Come on.
Privilege.
It's fraud. It's not even privilege. It's literal crime. Like, London is one of the most corrupt cities in the world. We never talk about it because we're like, we love the city, blah, blah, blah. We're watching our government just being like fully supportive. Like, we just be doing what we want. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, we're one of the richest nations in the world. No, we're basically a third world country because this level of corruption is what happens in those countries.
When you see it on TikTok and people are saying, don't come to the UK.
Exactly.
Don't come to the UK or Jerry.
Don't come here. We've got nothing for you.
No.
The men, garbage. The women, tired. The government, corrupt. That's London. That's the UK for you, babe.
That's the advert. Welcome to London.
I'm tired. I don't know, every day I'm literally on my way to work thinking, why am I even going to work? No. When if I was to get hit by a car, I'm finished. No. The ambulance that's going to come and collect me 4 days from now.
No, you go to the office because you're like, why am I sitting in this icebox? No, that's my house.
It's freezing in my house. It's freezing in the office. It cost me £40 to get here. From zone 1 to zone 1 cost me £40. Lunch is 200. I can't do this anymore. And then the government, we're trying to have this.
Oh, God.
Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak. How many times have I called you?
Do you know what's painful when you know that this guy's a multi-millionaire?
Give us one of the million.
500. I think he's 500 mil.
Doing what?
Investments and stuff like that.
I'm tired of investments and stuff like that. Another criminal. Stop putting criminals in power. Stop putting criminals in power. Why are you electing someone on the basis that they know how to make themselves money?
Yeah.
Just because you know how to make yourself money. And the thing is, most people who know how to make money, they make money because the government is corrupt.
And they make money because they were born into money or had money already.
And they make money because the government is not regulating
Is it their
properly
money?
the people who are millionaires.
Don't worry, the last billionaire that became was in a position of power. He didn't last there too long, so I'm not really having much hope for Rishi.
I'm saying we have reached a point in this country that I kept on seeing tweets like this, and I was like, "What the hell happens in France?" But yes, you're right. If this was France, we would have burned the Houses of Parliament to the ground.
They would
right
have
now.
finished them.
And here we are, Brits. I don't know. The apathy is beyond. We're just gonna sit here and let them kill us in our houses. We're gonna allow them to let us freeze to death in our homes.
Absolutely.
Well, Rishi Sunak is doing that 500 million Christmas party.
No, I'm done. This is the reason why we don't do politics on this podcast. Not that much, anyway.
Much like my sentiments was royal family, been the whole thing.
Yeah. Talking of another billionaire, or this guy's a billionaire in power with too much power. Elon Musk, flop of the year, absolutely. This guy, he showed how, I'll be honest, unhinged he was. He showed how having too much money doesn't mean you have too much sense.
Elon Musk has gone from a man who people respected to a guy who was a loser at school trying to prove to his old high school bullies that he's someone. Yeah. And we've all had to watch it.
Yeah. And also, thousands of Twitter employees. So
what the hell?
I know. It all starts off when there had been talks and rumours for, I think since beginning of last year, that Elon Musk, who was one of the most followed people on Twitter, was interested in buying Twitter, and I think he wanted to buy a majority stake into the company. Over the course of the year, the conversation has stalled and gone back on the table, and during those periods when he had pulled out of the deal, the stock share will go and plummet for Twitter. But then, towards the end of the year, he then decided to buy Twitter. And within the first month of him joining, he had sacked all the exec board. He fired the CEO.
As you do.
Exactly. For the company that you're not really running Twitter. You buy it in name alone, really, let's be honest. So you fired everyone who can actually provide operational advice in terms of the day-to-day running of Twitter. And then he proceeded to fire thousands of Twitter employees in the most embarrassing, horrible way possible. Literally by sending them an email and saying you're fired with a picture of him or some random picture. And that's how some of these people find out they were fired from their jobs. And some people are like, is this a joke? And then they'll be locked out of the whole system. One person, I think Elon Musk tweeted about some engineer issue, and the engineer responded back to him about how they usually do things at Twitter, and they had a bit of a back and forth. The guy got fired for challenging Elon Musk. And I think that seeing the downfall of Twitter, which now as a platform, I'm sure they've lost followers and users, given that he's now trying to introduce a subscription model, trying to charge people if they've got blue ticks, trying to prevent other links, external links to be used on Twitter, so you can't really link out to TikTok or Facebook, etc. He's trying to kill his own brand that he bought for millions of pounds. And I think it was also around the time when you've seen this kind of real shift in the tech industry, a lot of people losing their jobs, a lot of redundancies. So it's been a hard time, and 100% a lot of that stuff to do with Twitter was all at the hands of Elon Musk, because he is a flop.
Did you see that he posted a Twitter poll was who wants me to quit. Who wants me to quit? If enough people say they want me to quit, I will. And then everyone said quit. So he was like, damn, I guess I have to quit.
No, he was like, oh, I can't quit now. I have to find someone who's good enough to run the company.
Embarrassing. What did you think was going to happen? Like, I feel like he went from a person with an actual job where people respected him to thinking that he's some sort of tech rock star.
Yeah. When he's hosted SNL, he had received so much praise for just like his personality, his comedic chops. And then now, he's now the comedy in the skits. He's not the punchline.
Also, he's been such a prick this year that Grimes, the only person that would marry him, has divorced him.
Yeah.
And their son, C3PO, whatever his name is, and she's moved on. And I think she's like, oh, because you are actually bringing my brand down now. It's just so... Also... Mind
you, what brand did you have before?
I hate to do this, but... Azealia Banks, right? Sorry, you don't... This is what I mean. I saw a TikTok from Azealia Banks where she was like, oh, people are saying that Azealia Banks could have been a star if she didn't get to say what people was like, bitch, I am a star. I'm beefing with Elon Musk. Can anybody else say that? And I was like... She's like, Vladimir Putin knows who I am. And I was like, to be honest, she knows what she's doing with these beefs because...
Oh my gosh.
She is iconic, but... She told a story about how she went to Elon Musk's house because she was recording a song of Grimes.
Oh.
And then, like, spilled all this tea about their house and how, like, Elon Musk was trying to make a move on her and, like, Grimes wanted to kiss her and all this stuff. It was so messy. And I was like, oh, they seem...
Ugh. I mean, the whole relationship is weird.
Grimes is dirty. It looks like she's never had a shower. Like, she was dragging them. I was like, again, this merging of your worlds, and I think this is the problem with us as a community, and I mean as a society, when someone is interesting to us and we boost them up and then they suddenly stop thinking they're a person and that they're a god and want to start moving in these other circles they have no business moving in, and then we drag them. Like, your rise can be as quick as your fall.
Oh, 100%.
So just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
If he was just minding his own business, people would be like, Elon Musk is that guy. Why are you out here inviting Azealia Banks to your house like you can fight her?
Jesus.
You can't do it.
Jesus.
Stay out of it.
Jesus.
I don't know. We have witnessed several falls this year.
Oh, yeah.
And falls orchestrated by the person.
Yeah.
You didn't need to do it.
No.
You absolutely didn't need to do it. And yeah, 2022 has been a big flop era for divorced men.
Oh, gosh. Wait, who are you going to say?
Kanye West.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, because I've got one other person to your...
Famously divorced man.
Yeah.
Who then spent the entire year just spiraling. I mean, I feel like we've all forgotten. Well, I don't know if we've forgotten, but Kanye West was harassing Kim at the top of last year.
And Pete Davidson.
Talking about how he wanted to abort his child.
Oh my gosh.
At a concert that's now committed to the internet.
Yeah, fam.
Before all the other shit, like, it just got worse. The spiral. I don't know what it is about divorce being a middle-aged man and being famous, but like,
it's not a good look.
Last year, it really made me think some of these people.
We need to pray for them.
Yeah.
Pray for them. Because when he was wearing that White Lives Matter coat,
the fact that Julia Fox,
the Uncut Gems, yeah,
it came out at the end of the year, was like, basically I only dated Kanye because I was really worried about Kim and she wanted to break up with him, and she was like, he won't leave me alone. She's like, oh, I know, I'll date him to get him away from you. Like, the fact that someone would have to be like, that was my thought process, because you've spiraled so much that they don't even want to be able to say that they made a choice to date you is crazy.
Also, all the things you could say,
it didn't make sense.
No.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense as much as Uncut Gems. Another person I want to add to that list, if you haven't finished with Kanye.
I don't. We've said so much on this podcast. I had literally nothing else to say.
Take a listen to the other episodes where we just we don't drag him, but we give him some stern words. The only other person I was gonna say that entered their Biden era, Drake. Aubrey. This is the year that Drake You know when they were saying, oh, when they found out Beyonce was black, this is the year that we found out that Drake was a villain.
Petty bitch. Drake is a petty bitch. I would say though, the bop of this story is the tweets and the TikToks that have dragged Drake up and down this year have given me life. I was scrolling through my tweets earlier in the week in preparation for this episode, and so many of them are just people like, Drake the type of guy to be like, hey guys, I needed this on a night out. It's like, we really have lost all respect for this man. We will drag him up and down, and honestly I live. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, goodness me.
Do you know what else was a flop?
Go on.
Double flop for Drake.
Go on.
His house album.
Oh, gosh.
That, GIRLies, was a flop. And if you disagree, delete the podcast.
I still haven't even listened.
That's because it's not worth it.
I haven't even listened to it.
It should come with a trigger warning. If you don't like listening to garbage, don't listen to this.
This could have been the album where he came out.
No. No, we're not going to do that.
We're not.
We're not going to do that.
No, we won't.
Because gay people deserve better. Drake is actually...
There was a lot of rumours about it, let's just say.
He's too spicy. He's too spicy. Like...
He is spicy, yeah.
Did you see the article about how he'd melted down 42 engagement rings that he'd thought about buying women into a necklace?
Oh, God.
What are you talking about?
Petty. Also, 42.
Like, he's so simpy. That's what I'm saying. Like, Drake's the kind of guy that after you date him and you're talking to your friends and they're like, oh, do you remember when I dated Drake? And everyone's like, oh my God. Ooh. What a fucking weirdo. What an absolute weirdo.
He is the guy that has no other friends but you.
When you're dating him, know him. He's giving you none of this energy. Yeah. As soon as you break up, songs, knocking on your door, delivering flowers every like, leave me alone, bro. Leave me alone. Because you weren't bringing this energy when we were together. And now suddenly I don't want you. You're calling my mum. You're calling my grandma crying on the phone. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
It all now makes sense when that awards show when Drake was professing his undying love for Rihanna, and Rihanna was like, "Thank you," carried her award, and you never saw them again after that.
You're embarrassing.
Honestly, and she was like, "I'm good. I'm gonna go and have a chat with ASAP Rocky."
I feel like, you know how everyone has a brand, right? I feel like Drake's really, really decided his brand is, I'm the nice guy who pines after the girl and he never gets the girl. He loves the girl. And it's not true.
That's how his image was when he was in his Degrassi days and when he first came out, when everyone was like, oh, look at that like singer rapper. Oh my goodness, I love Drake.
I don't buy it. Honestly, I just think he's so messy, and he has not yet publicly apologized to Meghan.
Nope.
When he really should, because it's black women that be boosting up Drake. Oh yeah. It's black women that be putting Drake on their backs.
And I think it's going to be black women that's going to drag him back down.
And then as soon as he gets an opportunity, who's he dragging? Black women. You have to be careful of these Aubreys. You have to be careful of these Aubreys.
Oh gosh! Actually, talking of a bop for Meghan, a flop for Tory. It was announced at the end of 2022 that Meghan won her case against Tory Lanez, and Tory was found guilty of shooting Meghan. The case was wild. I didn't even follow it as much. But the response from the parents, Tory Lanez's dad and mum, when they were dragging Jay-Z, I'm like...
What's Jay-Z got to do with it?
Oh my gosh. That was a flop.
Perfect example of like why people like Tory Lanez exist, where your parents basically are like, he's never done anything wrong in his life ever. Tory Lanez was already on license because he isn't supposed to own a firearm because he already has charges. Yeah. So him having the gun in the first place was going to send him to jail. You weren't supposed to have it. Now you're firing the gun, not pop in the air, because that's what he was saying. Oh, I fired 3 rounds in the air, then I don't know anything about it hitting. You had the gun, which you weren't supposed to have, and you fired the gun, which you weren't supposed to do, and you hit Meghan, which you also weren't supposed to do. And your parents are saying he's never done anything wrong in his life. The truth will come out. So who fired the gun? Because she got shot. So if it wasn't him, who was it?
They all think it's the friend.
The friend who is claiming that Tory Lanez was trying to buy it off so that she wouldn't come to court to tell her side of the story. Why would you buy off someone if they're the one who shot? Also, think about it. I feel like people always act like, and I think that's the crazy thing, like the flop about this story has been the online discourse. You're acting like this is not the same police that solve crimes based on one hair found in one album. Like, all they needed was the gun, fingerprints. They could prove.
Yeah.
So if the girlie shot it, where's her fingerprints and why is it Tory Lane's fingerprints? Everyone was doing speculation on the internet. This is a court case. It has been investigated. You don't get taken to court if there's no evidence.
Yeah.
So if it's made it all the way to court, there must be something in it. And for people to be like, me personally, I'm going to wait till the verdict. So did Meghan shoot herself in the foot? Or
When you saw that girl limping and blood coming out her foot, when did that happen? How did that happen?
did she shoot herself in the foot? What are you talking about? I just think the whole thing has been ugly, and the scary thing is seeing people jumping through hoops to try and disprove the truth. Yeah. It's really reminding me that we live in a post-truth era. I hate to use words like that because I'm like, what does that even mean? But like, we've reached a place where people have decided a narrative and they're sticking to it.
Oh, and they will fight tooth and nail.
They're sticking to it. There's nothing you can tell. You can point blank, play them the recording of him shooting her and they still be like, that could have been doctored. Yeah.
We also live in a world where everyone's like living room experts.
Yeah.
Honestly, you see one thing on TikTok, oh, I know. Oh, I'm a doctor now. I'm a criminologist now. I know how to do forensic science. Fam, sit down. You may have watched.
You haven't even been at the crime scene. What are you talking about? I'm a person who, from the ages of like, I don't know what was going on with me post uni. I was in a deep depression, but I watched pretty much every single episode of Criminal Minds, and I sort of understood that an investigation needs to take place. And me in my house, I can't do an investigation. You have to be at the crime scene. You have to look at the place. You got interview. You're acting like what the police are fucking stupid. And Meghan the Stallion is a criminal mastermind who has conducted this whole thing to destroy Tory Lanez, who is, and again, who is he? Who is he?
Ekin who?
Nobody has explained to me yet why this man is important. His parents were screaming outside like he's the next Tupac, the next Biggie. You are not that big.
Wait, what song has he done?
Question mark, question mark. Question mark, question mark. Tory Lanez, I'm so sorry. Bye. Bye. And I feel like this is good because there are too many men out there who think that they can do bad things to women in general, bad things to black women in general, and get away with it because apparently we don't matter and we're like the least, we're the least powerful victims. Like people don't care about us. And society, the way people behaved on the internet, they've said and this is men and women as well. It's not even like the problem is men. There are women out there, pick me's being like, but we weren't there, so we can't really know. It's just so the same way we don't know, why open your mouth to talk to them? Be quiet. All of us should be quiet. No one should say nothing until the court case happens. But there are instances of injustice at court. Innocent people get charged with blah, 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 blah. It's like, you can find, if you want this to be that she's a liar, you can find evidence to back yourself that she's a liar. But you have to ask yourself, why are you so intent on living in a world where a black woman has lied about being shot, as opposed to living in a world where a woman has got shot, when the statistics show that men commit violence against women every single day. So what is more likely? That she's lied about this or that this has happened? But we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about the statistics.
Oh, God.
Anyway, I don't want to hear about any more flop artists. I want to hear about bop artists.
But, yeah.
Beyonce.
Yeah, that's on my bop list of 2022.
Excuse me?
It's on my bop list. Oh, after I dragged her. Sorry, Cuff It is on my bop list. Everything else.
Pause this whole thing right now.
No.
Pause this whole thing
no,
right
no.
now. What the hell are you talking about?
No, okay. No.
What the hell are you talking about?
I didn't say that I
hated...
We're
about to fight.
I didn't hate...
We're about to fight.
So, for those who are confused why Marnie is trying to get at me, I didn't say I hated the album. It's not my favourite album. But let's just say Cuff It very, very much rejuvenized that album.
Stop right now, because you are actually taking the piss out of my life. I'm not taking the piss.
I'm not.
You are taking the piss out of my life.
I'm not.
How dare you put Renaissance as a bop of your year and say that one song off the album?
Fam, how many people have I seen do How many people have I seen them do that dance? How many people have seen have flopped that dance move as well?
Stop right now. Either you're saying Cuff It is a bop and period, or you're saying the album is a bop, period.
No, I'm saying...
No, let me finish what I'm saying, because we're about to fight again.
Go on.
Try
me.
You are not about to reduce Renaissance, the album, the experience, the life-changing moment for me to one song.
Okay, let me
be
add
very...
to this. I'll be
for real.
I'll be for real. If I'm talking about the bops for 2022, big cultural moments, it was the release of the album, but it was rejuvenized and it was made into the stratosphere because of that Cuff It song.
You're out of your mind.
The same way that Dangerously in Love became big because of Looking So Crazy in Love, Got Me Looking Crazy in Love. That was the song that brought that album to life.
The single came out before... No.
Yes, like most things, yes. But I'm saying...
Cuff It did not come out, no.
Yeah, we're living in a world where most people can drop albums and then release the songs afterwards. We're living in a world where your first single may not be your biggest hit, but you may have consequent singles that will become your big hit. Let's not pretend that people were not bopping to Break My Soul. People were not bopping it to
they were. People
not as
were.
much. But the song,
you weren't in Beyonce TikTok. You weren't there.
Yeah, no,
you
I don't need to be in
because
Beyonce
you're a
TikTok.
hater.
I'm not a hater. I'm a massive fan of Beyonce.
And you hate the album.
I don't hate the album. Do you know what could have helped the album? Some flipping visuals. That is what made it a flop. That's what could have made it a flop. There was no visual. The flop part of the album is that there's no visuals. The bop part of the album is a Cuff It.
I'm gonna bin this whole.
Go on.
Not do this podcast
Go on.
Anymore.
Go on.
You. I actually can't believe you.
Come on, at me.
I'm not
Put me in the parking lot.
I'm not
Come
gonna
on.
at you. I'm not gonna at you because I'm actually gonna act like you don't exist.
No, you're not. You can't.
I'm acting like you don't exist.
We are in the same podcast.
So the next 10 minutes, I'm acting like you
Go
don't
on,
exist. I'm talking to the girlies who experience Renaissance, not...
But you experience it in your ears. Where's my eyes? Where is it in my eyes? Can't see the visuals. Can't see. Go on.
Not these little begs who listen to one song. We're like, I don't know, I want to be... Shush.
I'm going to drag you.
Shush.
Don't... Literally.
I let you have your say.
Okay. No, you literally, as I was talking, going, I'm going to get you. I'm going to at you. Don't let me come for you.
Have your say.
Continue.
I put Renaissance, the album, on my bop. That was my number one bop of the year. Because for me, it was a massive cultural moment. The album was stellar from start to finish, and I can say that as a person who experienced the entire album, not a person who went, I like Cuff It, this is the best part of the album, and that's what you sound like when you say that to me. That's what it sounds like. I literally, as I was putting my list together, just really sat and thought about Renaissance and what it did for me. And I spoke about it on the podcast already, but I really do support this 100%.
Yeah.
Listen to that album really reminded me why it's so important to dance, why community is so important, why the experience of feeling incredible is so important. Because you don't have an imagination, but that's not Beyonce's fault. It's not Beyonce's fault that you lack an imagination, sweetie. Take it up with your creator. Don't take it up with Beyonce. Listen to that album just made me feel like when I used to imagine what going to the club was like as a kid. Like you watch like club scenes.
You went to the club with the kids.
Why are you talking?
Because I feel like I just want to check you on some of your points.
Why are you talking? Because I haven't finished my point.
You checked me on my points. I'm going to check you on yours.
Why are you talking? When you're a kid and you think about what it would be like to go to the club, if you let me finish, see, she'll jump down my throat.
How old are you, this child?
When I heard club music.
I didn't think about going to the club when I was like...
When I was a kid listening to club music, watching the videos where they're in the clubs dancing, I was like, wow, it must be like just this euphoric moment to just be in the club, listening to music,
looks cool.
moving your body, wearing like a vest top and jeans, because that's what they would have been wearing in the early 2000s. I was like, yeah, I don't want that. And there are songs that you hear when you're in the club that make you just be like, we gotta get up, we gotta dance. And that entire album... If you mention Cuff It one more time, that entire album for me was just the experience of like the whole thing of like getting ready to go to the club, going to the club, being in the club, making eyes with someone you like at the club, hearing your favourite song at the club, dancing in the club, sitting down for a drink, have a break because it's getting hot in there, sweaty, and then guys, it's getting to the end of the night, they're playing banger after banger after banger, and you're on the dance floor, dancing, dance, lights come up, time to go home, and you're just like, what a night.
There's sweat on the walls.
There's sweat on the walls. There's sweat on you. You've broken a heel. You're going to get kebab after. That is
I
the
don't know.
experience of the album. And every single time I listen to it, that is what I visualize. I just visualize my girls out in the club, doing dances, making eye contact with the love of your life.
Really?
And do you know why some of these girlies are single? It's because they're sitting at home listening to Just Cuff It. You need the whole album.
I'm actually going to
You
throw
need the
this
whole
at you.
album. Otherwise, you'll never meet the love of your life. Because you don't know what song is the
don't-
song for you.
I don't
Cuff It's
feel-
not the one.
I don't feel energy is going to be taking me to give me the love of my life.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell you.
Energy is what you're listening to get ready to go. You're not. I told. That's a whole story. Bonus app. I will describe to you my. I don't know.
vision.
My 11 part short film
Basically,
visual album.
She's going to create the visual album that Beyonce is yet to deliver.
I said this.
Do you think that? Okay, one, I'll go back to the point. I wrote Beyonce Renaissance as a bop of the year because I do think it was a cultural moment. If we're going to put a list of top pop culture moments of 2022, Renaissance and the release was definitely one. I do put as a downside that we didn't get any visuals, and I will say that the album, it had some amazing songs, but like with most album, you have a standout hit. And Cuff It, I'm not just talking about like, being like the only good song, because I think there were some other great songs. I like Summer Renaissance, I think was my favorite, but I think the song that helped put it into the stratosphere was Cuff It. Like when you see on TikTok, most people I was seeing is people dancing to Cuff It. But I know you're gonna jump at me. But what I will say on a quick side note, talking of 2023, do you think we're gonna get visuals or a tour? Do you think we're gonna get anything that's gonna
I think
support
we're
the
gonna get
album?
a tour. I don't think we're getting visuals. And honestly, I don't want visuals because I have the album visuals in my head, and I don't want her to release anything.
Boo.
And like I said, get an imagination.
I have an imagination, but that being said, I'm just surprised from a business. My imagination from a business perspective is like, what are you doing to sustain this album?
Let me explain something to you. Your imagination is 2 stick figures go like this. My imagination is a full production. So some of us have full production imaginations, and we don't need to see the full production because we have already cast the dancers. We've already choreographed the dance. We already know what the transition into the next song is going to be.
What is the equivalent of the dance equivalent of Coachella? Because I feel like she needs to headline. I don't know. I feel like she needs to headline something that as big as Coachella that will help supplement the album. Or if she never, because I feel like now she's getting to a point where she will release a video and everyone will be disappointed.
But why do you feel like she needs to go to a dance festival?
Well, could she do Coachella again? Like
she could absolutely.
She could, but it's just like you've done it before, and it was amazing, and you have a whole Netflix.
I feel like it needs. I actually think it has to be a tour because I think you need to be indoors. It doesn't feel like an outdoors album, if that makes sense. Like I said, to me, it feels like a disco club album. Maybe. So I want to be indoors, and I want a full production. Like I want the lights on the ceiling, I want the changes, I want it to come out in the middle of the crowd, be in a cage for one of them. I want go-go dancers, I want burgers, I want fire.
I mean, she was doing that Club Renaissance in the lead up with a lot of celebrities, very exclusive. Who knows? I'm keen to see what she will do.
And I bet you that the interiors of that was like chef's kiss.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And that's what I think the tour should be.
Yeah, I think it will
even if obviously she'd never do this because
smaller venue.
Yeah, smaller venue, more expensive to get the tickets.
Do you see Taylor Swift's?
Huh?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, I don't want to hear about that.
That is a flop of the year. Taylor Swift tickets.
If Beyonce said that 200 tickets,
when the cost of living crisis,
I know, but
I'm talking about Taylor Swift.
I would break the bank to.
You want to break your soul and break your purse
for that one. But she has to only do that album because if she starts playing old bangers.
Yeah.
And I paid £200.
That's because I'm there for the old bangers as well.
I love Beyonce, so I would.
You're saying I love her too.
But I'm saying the experience I'm describing at Club Renaissance, my version.
Yeah.
200 person then.
That's a wedding.
Yes, and
this could be like the Willy Wonka of it all. Like she'll have golden tickets hidden across the world, and you have to find it. And only the pristine and exclusive 200 will be able to join Club Renaissance.
And then you get in there, everyone's attractive.
Yeah.
And it's just Beyonce and you guys being like all night.
And we're in an audio podcast, so no one can see what we're doing.
My hands are in the air, and I'm
waving
moving
in,
like a grass in the wind.
Waving them like you just don't care.
Yeah, I just think, honestly, I actually think it might have been my cultural moment, the top cultural moment since the pandemic.
Wow.
Nothing has hit for me like the album has hit.
Will Smith slapping Chris Rock is my moment.
Yeah, exactly. That says a lot about the two of us as people, doesn't it? One of us likes peace and is chill, and one of us is a criminal.
No, don't you dare. I want peace. You want problems. Do you want to just rewind this podcast where you were trying to drag me and said me you were going to get me because I said that Cuff It was the best song on the album? Well, the most culturally relevant.
The fact that you keep bringing it up makes me feel like you want me.
I will get you like Harry Styles spat on Chris Pine because I have that on my list.
First of all, you won't be getting me like that.
I will.
Second of all, that was one of my bops.
Yeah. But I don't.
The Don't Worry Darling press tour.
Ooh. The press tour was more interesting than the film.
That was my second bop of the year, to be honest.
For real?
Yeah, my second top bop. Top bop. I just really enjoyed waking up every day to another piece of this puzzle that was more unhinged than the day before, honestly.
Yeah.
People being like, if you look at Chris Pines, the reflection in his glasses, you can see the spit. It's just like, this is so crazy. And we all kind of knew that he didn't spit on Chris Pine. But we also just enjoyed for a second living in a world where, I mean, if Will Smith can slap Chris Rock, why can't Harry Styles spit on Chris Pine?
Wow, Chris is on.
I know they're not having a great run.
Not having a good year at all. Sorry about that. I hope you have a better 2023.
I don't know if I do. I think we should continue to attack Chris's.
We will not be attacking Chris's, and we do not condone violence on this podcast.
What do you think is the name of people who will be getting attacked the most
I don't want to be.
year?
I don't want to be saying anything.
I think it's going to be a James.
James who?
James. Well, currently it's Benedict Cumberbatch. Or the Benedicts are getting dragged.
For you people that don't know, again, Google. His family is in a
Barbados, the entire country of Barbados, are asking for reparations from the Cumberbatches for their history in Barbados with the slave trade.
Whew, how much is that?
Whatever it is, they've got it. They were paid, I think it was that they were paid either £6,000 or £2,000 at the end of the slave trade as a compensation, which is the equivalent nowadays of like £3 million or whatever. So it's not small money.
No.
He's been suspiciously quiet. He's not a particularly noisy person online anyway, but he's not said Pim yet. I can't wait. And then people are bringing up the fact that he played a slave master in 12 Years a Slave. I don't know why anyone's surprised when a posh white man who plays a slave owner in a film turns out to be the descendant of the slave owner. That's why he was cast, because he looks like a slave owner. What are you talking about? They're not gonna cast Chimney Sweep down the road to play the slave owner. Because he doesn't look like he could own any slaves. Benedict Cumberbatch, they literally saw a picture of his great-great-great-grandfather and went, perfect, you can play him.
I'm so finished.
Anyway.
So done.
Anyway, that is a side note.
Yeah.
That is not fun TV Twitter drama.
No.
But fun Twitter drama has been Harry Styles and poor Chris Pine.
Yeah.
And it's actually crazy because if you go too far into the drama of that, you find out you get into like not fun drama, like Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis. Like, I don't think a divorce. Yeah. What is it about celebrities divorcing and just it becoming the messiest shit?
Wild.
Why can't you divorce like normal people and just never speak to each other again?
Because in the public eye, and someone's going to turn around and be like, how's Olivia? How's Jason?
Who?
No, I mean someone will
How's who?
Olivia.
I don't know who that is. It's that simple.
And then that will be the headline.
Listen.
And it'd be like Mariah Carey and J-Lo when he's like, do you know J-Lo? I don't know her.
As a person who has in the past, up until last year, basically acted like anyone who I've ever been romantically involved with died in a fire immediately afterwards. It's really not that hard to act like someone doesn't exist. Yeah. It's very easy. The person could be talking to you. Like, lovely to meet you.
For 2023, I am looking forward to, I think it's the Grammys, where J-Lo is going to do a tribute to Whitney Houston.
No, she's not.
She is.
No, she's not. She can't sing.
She is.
No, she's not.
She said that she believes that she has a range to do it.
No, she's not.
I'm not even lying.
No, she's
Fam,
not.
I'm not even lying. I went through a rabbit hole on TikTok where people were literally showing how she did a cover of I Will Always Love You and then comparing it to other singers.
No.
Fam, it's happening this year. And I cannot wait when the camera pans to Mariah Carey and she's like, I still don't know
First
who
of
she
all,
is.
Mariah Carey's not going to leave her house for this, because I wouldn't. I'm going to be watching at home with
just to be there to watch.
To see it flop. I want to be able to laugh in peace without them worrying that the camera's going to cut to me and I have to be like, no. I don't be in my house in my pajamas being like, that bitch. It's so fucking stupid. I even think there are very, very good singers who would not want to tackle Whitney Houston's
unless you are Jennifer Hudson, Christina Aguilera, Fantasia, Fantasia.
Do you know who could do it? Kelly Clarkson.
I say Kelly Clarkson. Yeah.
Queen Kelly.
Who else? There was a singer that I saw. I can't remember her name. She sounded not image, but audio, like Whitney.
Do you know what? I'm going to say something controversial.
Go on.
I don't like these tributes. Just play Whitney Houston songs. I don't want to hear someone else sing.
You just want a club renaissance. Literally. A renaissance.
I don't like it.
They
I'm going
should
to be
do...
honest, because all I'll be thinking is, I'm going to go listen to the Whitney version. I don't want to do this to myself.
One of my favourite ones is when Jennifer Hudson, when Whitney was alive, she did a tribute to her in front of her. And Whitney was there, like, praising her. If you've seen it,
I have seen
you've seen the meme where Whitney's like, yes. And, like, perfectly honest, that is the biggest honour.
Exactly.
After she's done it, there's nothing. You just rewind that and play that.
I told a lie earlier, and I would like to correct it. I do have a cover that I prefer than the original version.
Go on.
And it's Jennifer Hudson singing "Listen."
Ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh. But your fave, Beyonce.
We're not gonna
don't drag your fave. Don't at her.
First of all, we're not gonna sit here and act like Beyonce had the bangers in Dreamgirls.
She didn't.
She absolutely didn't.
No. She tried hard, fam.
To use a 2022 colloquialism, Jennifer Hudson ate.
She did hard.
She ate and she left 0 crumbs.
And you know that when Jennifer Hudson was
her version of One Night Only. Come on.
Please. Also, you know when she was singing "Listen," it was like in her mid-range. Like she didn't need to stretch. Beyonce, that looked like the hardest performance she's ever had to do in her life. She was singing for her life.
Not Beyonce. The character looked stressed.
No, but I've also seen Beyonce singing that song, and she looked like she was struggling. She looked like she was hitting the top of her range.
I never said it.
Whereas J Hud,
J-Lo's never sung
J-Lo's not on the range. J Hud that's in her low to mid range. Like she still had enough capacity for us to take many more songs. So
the thing with Jennifer Hudson is she'll be singing her heart out and look like she's still got another 8, 9, 10 levels to go.
Yeah.
Beyonce in that film. Yeah. That's why I feel like she was quite a good Dina. Because Dina looked like a deer in the headlights every time. Scene.
But I think also, I feel like she maybe thought this was going to be an Oscar performance. Girl, once you read that script, you realise that Effie was going to get it.
I don't even know if she did, because regardless, even if Beyonce was playing Effie, she wouldn't have won an Oscar because Beyonce, that's not one of your talents.
Tell your girl.
That's not one of your skills. And do you know what? I'm a person also, I'm a multi-hyphenate. I sing, dance and act.
If you listen to the previous podcast, I don't know if you agree with singing.
I sing and I dance and I act, and one of them is weaker than the others. And I feel like Beyonce is a multi-hyphenate. She sings and she dances. The acting is weaker.
I think she's a creative mind. Like she's a creative visual person, but she has also an amazing team behind her.
Actually, that's not fair. Her acting in Lemonade is better than her acting.
Yeah, but she's not really acting.
Do you know her acting in Obsessed? is top tier.
Her acting, if I was a boy video, was not bad.
Yeah,
That's
her
bad.
acting in Me, Myself and I, where she's in
Basically, when Beyonce is playing Beyonce, great. When Beyonce is playing any other character,
Yeah.
I'm like, who's this?
Beyonce playing Beyonce, perfect, 10 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple more cultural moments around kind of more conversations that have happened in pop culture, in culture in general. The first one, which is a bop, kind of, was quiet quitting. It's a very interesting term. It's not like the big pop culture celebrity moment, but it was basically, for those who don't know what quiet quitting is. Quiet quitting is when people
Irish goodbye at work.
basically, but they're basically doing their normal 9-to-5 job. They're not going over and above. They're quietly quitting, i.e. doing their job. Usually it means it's one step out the door, but it's basically for the whole fact that in the last how many years we have been, and there's a lot of people that have worked over and above, especially if you're working from home, which a lot of people end up doing over the pandemic. You're actually working longer hours, going over and above your role. And for some people, they're just not seeing the reward or being appreciated for it. As a result, this phenomenon came around in terms of the working world about quiet quitting. Therefore, you're not going to stay and work till 7 p.m. when your working hours end at 5. And so that became a big thing. Of course, it didn't really last that long because it became a very loud firing and seeing redundancies, especially in the tech industry and other industries. But it was a phenomenon that picked up in terms of conversation, careers, a very interesting moment. And then another one was the whole idea of Icks. And Icks have been a thing, but I think last year it was very clear that everyone has Icks. And Marnie looks like she's having ick right now. Everyone has icks, but it became so much more public about what are your icks and list out your top 10 icks and how many icks do you have. And
Name 5 of your icks right now.
I should have really thought about this. I mean, in general or just with
dating icks? Because that's where you hear it
yeah,
the most.
dating
what
icks.
are your
Okay,
restaurant icks?
Yeah, dating icks.
Who cares?
Someone who's cheap, who wouldn't offer to pay at least for the first date. And no, I don't care. Someone who's cheap. I don't care about gender roles.
So why do you want him to pay?
Because I think it's, if you ask for the date.
Asked for the, what if you asked for the date?
I wouldn't. Sorry. So this is now becoming a Date and Scribbles episode, but I wouldn't be asking for a date.
One of my icks is that he loves his mum too much.
Why? I think
that's fucking weird.
Not too much. I think it's good. I think it's good for him to love his mum.
No, I think it's fucking weird.
I don't think.
I'm talking about. I'm not saying it's rational or it's good.
Yeah.
But it would give me the ick if he was like, just hanging out with my mum.
I think that's really nice.
Me and my mum went to the zoo today.
That's really nice.
No, because I'm not trying to compete with no one's mum. I'm not trying to do that. Oh, it's weird. It's weird. I'm sorry. It's weird. That's fucking weird. I know me and my nanny are really close, but we're not close like me and my dad going on a day out.
No, it doesn't have to be all the time, but I think it's not, I don't think it's bad.
No. Imagine if reverse it and he's trying to date me. I'm like, well, me and my dad are going to the zoo today. Don't even lie.
I understand over obsessive.
No, I'm saying him and his mum, best friend.
No, if the mum mothers you, like, it's cooking food for you.
You're out, the three of you. First of all,
okay,
you are third wheeling on him and his mum's date, and then she's smoothing down his hair.
Okay, that's an ick. That is an ick. I get that, but like, if you're just like hanging out and you like to spend time with your mum every now and again, what's wrong?
That's not what I said.
What's wrong with I mean, yeah, that's what I mean. The obsessive part I get. Obsessive part I 100% get.
Yeah, obviously. Another one of my exes is that you don't like your mum. There is a sweet spot for how much you need to like your mum. I'm telling you. And if it's too much, I'm out of here. And if it's not at all, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little bit, I'm out of here. Like, you should like.
No, you should like
be
your,
good.
you should be good.
Good boy.
And I think I will observe the relationship more with your mum than you do with your dad. I expect you to have a good relationship with both parents if that's possible. But I will be eyeing the relationship you have with your mum more than anything. Honestly.
So that's 2 free icks for you guys.
Yeah, another
Add them to your list of it.
Men with long fingernails. That is a superficial one, but I'll keep by it. Especially if you have one nail that's too long, because that usually means cocaine. Okay. There's a famous picture with Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, we know about the long finger,
the long fingernail. Yeah,
little fingers.
Yeah.
One of my icks is begging. I hate men who beg. It's fucking.
What do you mean beg to be cool or begging in general?
Begging about anything. Begging about anything. Like, I can't take you seriously now. Being like, please come to my house. Ew! What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you trying to make me so dry before I arrive at your house? Begging? Honestly?
Please.
Please, can I kiss you, please? Can I kiss you, please? Oh! I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Begging.
So sorry.
And that goes for women. If a woman wants to, anybody begging, stop begging. If my friend was telling me a story, she was like, and then I was like, please, I'm ending the friendship.
Oh,
you are beta. You're now beta. You're beta female. If that's even possible. Why are you begging? There's nothing in this life that requires begging. Not one thing. Not one thing. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. That's it. Bolding.
Is that yours?
Bolding.
I know what. If you're not gonna,
I actually think you should just shave it.
Yeah. If you're bold to the point where you have like one scrub of hair, only one left, bam, shave it all. I can see the circumference of your head by this point. Shave it off.
I don't want to, every time we spend time together, look at your bald patch and act like I can't see it. It's stressing me out.
But what if his head is like not good for a bald? Like a bald scalp. What if this doesn't have the head
shape?
It's a bad head. Some guys just don't have the head shape for it. Some guys look really nice.
Right. Some guys don't, but I
don't
know
what to tell you. Some guys really look nice with it, but some guys don't.
I don't know what to tell you. I can't pretend I can't see this bald patch growing and growing and growing.
Like you can see now.
I can't.
It's dilating.
Like, are we gonna talk about this? Are we gonna talk about this?
I mean, if it's like just starting, you're just like turkey.
Watching you trying to comb.
Oh yeah, that's the comb over. Oh
if you just acknowledge, just shave it.
No, would you tell your guy to shave off his head if only there's like a small patch of it is starting to go bald? Like he's more like,
can see
maybe it's more like Prince Harry
visible,
than Prince William, because Prince Harry is balding.
Yeah,
but then
shave it.
Prince William is,
because it's not even like Prince Harry has nice hair.
Don't do that.
If my man had hair down to his back and then there was a bob, I'm not gonna be able to see it, man, because he's got flowing look. Your hair's already only an inch long, and I can see the bald spot. Shave the ting. Shave the ting. You don't need it. You're not using it anyway to shave it.
Oh, God.
Shave it. And vice versa, if he was like to me, listen, you got a massive I'm like, I don't need this hair. What do I need it for? Exactly. So I'm gonna shave it. I'll wear a wig. He can wear a wig as well if he wants. Get a toupee.
Yeah.
One of those nice ones that they do now that you
know. Don't do a toupee. Don't do that lace wig.
They do those lace wigs for boys now. They look very nice.
Have you seen the beard's lace?
I'm not even trying to. That's crazy. In life, you either have a beard or you don't. You don't need to force it.
No.
Boys.
Come on. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I want to see you as God created.
Yeah.
I don't
bold.
Hairless, completely hairless.
Oh God. I don't think I have any more for this podcast. We'll do it. We'll do one for Dating Scribbles.
I have one last day.
Go on.
Men who wear tight trousers.
How tight though?
Skinny jeans.
As
in, like, you can see outline of calf.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But no.
I don't want to see you in any I don't want to see you in any tight trousers.
Yeah, true.
Not one.
Not even tight. I don't like tight t-shirts. Like, if you cannot find a t-shirt or a top or a shirt that can fit your muscles, go size up. That's your fault for going too hard in the gym.
What's the opposite of an ick? A turn on?
Yeah. A green flag.
A green flag for me, boys in short shorts.
No, fam, that is it.
Get your legs
Why am I seeing calf?
Are you mad?
Why am I seeing your calf?
Oh my god,
Fam.
you're actually. I don't understand how we can do this, but you have a problem with seeing a man's calf. But if he's wearing tight trousers and you can see his calf, that's okay.
No, I'm not saying I don't like it either. But I would prefer you to be fully covered than you show me
Fully covered.
Your
What
head.
universe are we living in?
No,
he should be wearing a burqa.
I prefer you to have your trousers on.
Hot weather, he should be wearing trousers.
Yes. No, wear loose trousers. White linen.
Listen, I support men being as slutty as they want to be.
I don't
want to wear little booty shorts in the summer, baby.
I don't need to see any.
You can walk past me. I'll whistle you.
Most of these guys don't have good butts to be carrying booty shorts.
It's about the thighs. It's not even just simply about the butt.
I don't want to be seeing your thighs in
I
that
love
way.
men's
In that
thighs.
40 degree heat, I would have understood.
I
But
love
in
men's
any
thighs.
degrees heat,
Thick?
nah, fam.
Muscly
Nah,
thigh?
I'm good. Nah.
Well,
Hey.
Shoshanna doesn't like men. So.
I do like good, wholesome, wearing trousers type of men.
Ugh. That's how I know your husband's gonna be ugly.
Fam.
Or he's gonna have a nice face, crusty body.
No, he'll have an amazing body.
Decrepit
He'll have an
body.
amazing body. You want me to see it.
Yeah, and I've only seen it because he can't get it out.
No.
Whereas my man, getting his cheeks out every day.
Why am I seeing Marnie's husband's cheeks everywhere? Why? Honestly.
Because it's the summer.
And it'd be like
and we
flat
like
like
to be out in the
flat like an
sun.
ironing board.
Speak for what you say. Speak for yourself.
Fam,
I can't even get the words out because I know you've disgusted me.
How dare
Like
you.
what ironing board? My ironing board's curvy. I don't know.
Fam, it'd be curvy but flat.
Wide hips and no arms.
That's how you like it.
No, lads, if you're listening,
No.
I love a man in short shorts.
We love all men.
I just
all
feel
bodies.
like it's not fair that girls always have to be wearing tiny dress. No, show me some ankle, baby.
Yeah.
Show me the knees. What are the knees saying? What are the knees saying?
I don't need to know that. But yeah. I'm talking
I
about
do want to live in a universe where you can catcall men.
I don't need to.
Oi, sexy legs. Where you going? Why are you walking off for? What's going on? Talk to me, bro. So you got a girl, what? I think you should be able to do to men. I think you should be able to do that. I was on my way to work, but I had to stop because I've never seen anyone look as peng as you in it.
When you're driving, but you go.
Beep, beep, beep. Get your tits out.
We are not trying to make fun of.
Oh, my husband's gonna be a slut for sure.
Many of the women that have experienced that, but
I have experienced that. And I'm not saying women should experience, I'm saying men should experience it.
Yeah, that's a payback.
I think they would love it, to be honest.
It probably will. Boost their ego.
Yeah, they'd love it.
Yeah.
They'd be like, I was walking down the street and this girl called me a slag. I loved it.
Wow. This year has been interesting.
It has.
And do you have any more? I mean, you had a list of big
I
moments.
have some, these are really quick ones we can run through.
Oh, cool. I have two more wild ones. Go on.
People sharing their dating experiences on Twitter and or TikTok.
Yes!
These people are doing God's work. I
Goodness
feel
me.
like remove every other creator but these people and I still enjoy the internet.
Dating wrapped?
People, I saw a Shagify Wrapped the other day. And this woman talked about every single person she'd had sex with. Honestly, I was like, wow. In the year of our Lord 2022, some people actually enjoyed.
Oh, they had numbers.
Some people lived. Some people
Wild.
And some people not so much.
No.
And it was really nice actually seeing the spectrum of people who were like, went on 0 dates.
Yeah.
You know, talking stage with 0 guys. Just nothing. No crushes, nothing on the
But I
on
learned
the
about
horizon.
myself.
And then seeing people being like, I did everything. I went everywhere. I smelled everything. I tasted everything. I just loved it. I really feel like for so long, and this is the good thing and bad thing about the internet, your idea of what you should be doing was dictated by the people around you. Yeah. And now the internet's there to be like, you will find someone who's living the exact same life as you. Yeah. Sometimes you will also find someone who's living such an extreme opposite that you're like, damn, maybe I should be doing that. But like, I have every single person, people posting their the way that men approach them on Hinge. I've really enjoyed because I was like, I have had a very hit and miss experience of Hinge. Yeah. And seeing other people equally have hit and miss experiences of Hinge makes me feel like, oh,
it's
I'm
not just
crazy.
Me. Yeah.
men are crazy. I've loved it. So many of my liked TikToks and tweets are just people being like, so I went on a date and I'm about to go on a journey.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love the ones where they get dressed up for it. Like, oh, I'm looking forward to seeing this guy. Next thing, reaction. So yeah, I'm not doing that again.
I remember seeing a TikTok where it's like, so I went on a date with this guy. Really think he's the one. Got a smash cut to you. Men are liars. They lie. They can lie. Then the story time was the guy tried to do fraud with her credit card. Ah! I said, oh my god. That's what I mean about London being pits. The absolute pits. They're trying to kill us out here. I saw another one where the girl was like, the TikTok was like, oh, I love him. I actually think I love him. Smash cut to you. The thing is, when you start being nice to guys, that's when they act stupid. So we're not together anymore. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, reveling in people's misfortune.
I think it's eye-opening. It's a learning for us.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing. But yeah.
Here's to more stories in 2023, guys.
And we will not be part of those stories. Amen. Well,
you know, some of them are good stories.
Some of them are. Yeah, the good stories only.
I've seen people I follow. I've seen at least two people people I follow and people I know of who've got into who have announced relationships or proposals. And so there is still good in the world, to counteract the absolute chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
A flop honorable mention actually is the men. Speaking of dating, the men on dating shows in 2022.
I literally was writing it down as you were talking.
I don't know where they went to collect these men this year or that year because we're not in it anymore. But they really said the barrel, but I want the very dregs of that barrel. No, I want to scrape.
They already opened the bottom of the barrel and digging into the underground.
It's wild. Yeah. There was not one good man.
No.
Across any of the dating shows I watched, there was not one good man.
The one that we believed was a decent good man came out as an abuser. Lord help us.
Love Island. The people that are still together, let's not forget. Danny, as soon as India left that villa, said, I'm out here. I'm not attached to anybody. Kissed about 3 girls. Then came back to India and said, I've made a mistake. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Then we have Tasha and Andrew lick a tit.
I licked a tit or whatever. Are you mad? The fact that she is still with him. And I'm happy for them, actually. Because they are quite cute on the socials. But
I watched a video that you talked about last week about the Christmas, the Christmas one.
And what did you think?
I was creasing. What? The way you described it was like to a T.
I told you, it was mad. But the fact that Tasha sat there and was like, what else did you do? Tell me right now. And he was like, oh, I licked her tit or whatever. And she didn't. I would have actually allowed them to remove me from the villa. That day, what I would have done, remove me from the villa and I deserve it. Because I would have launched myself across that bed. I would have beat the shit out of you. I do not condone violence, but you see, I'm learning some things about myself. And I do have an anger problem, actually.
Really?
So
I've known you for like 20 years, so...
If you really sat there, after making me feel bad, and then turned around and said, not only did I kiss that girl, I was in bed with her doing smooching, and I licked her tit.
Or whatever.
I'd be like, or whatever. Take this microphone off me right now. Take this microphone off me right now. Because I'm about to go to jail. I haven't lived on this earth for this long to go to jail over a man. You need to take me out of this villa right now. Because I'm warning you, everybody who was in the villa when he was licking her tit or whatever is going to get it. Every single man. So let me out of this place.
I'm so done.
And now the two of them are dancing into the sunset.
Living life. You know.
Paige's guy.
Oh yeah.
Who had to remove himself from the villa because he's like, I can't watch you be with
someone my god.
Controlling, crazy.
Oh my god.
The other guy cheating on her the minute they're in the villa.
Are you surprised though? Come on.
Luca, period.
Oh yeah, done.
Luca,
done.
Period.
Done.
Made sorry, the men on dating shows this year made me feel confident about being single.
No, I feel like it was a reflection of men on dating apps.
I said the fact that I do not have a partner is good and right and proper because if this is the quality, if this is the best that you can, these are the hot ones.
Yeah, these are the hot ones.
These are the hot ones.
These are the ones that they applied.
Dang it, Andrew! And this is what you're doing.
It's received more applications at Oxbridge, and this is what you
Let
got.
me go home.
I'm good.
Let me go. I said it in 2022. Yeah. I'm sure I'll say it in 23. Open up the nunneries. Open them up. Open them up. And let me have peace in my life. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do it.
Oh god! Wait, talking of men on reality TV, I have to put. I don't know if it's a flop or just comedic. West African men.
That's on my list.
Particularly Nigerian men on reality TV this year has received a whole spotlight.
Listen,
a whole spotlight.
It's 2023 is the year of Sierra Leone. Ghana and Nigeria are finished. They've made fools of us. It's time for somebody else from West Africa to step up. Benin, Togo, I don't know what you guys are doing.
Come on, calm down.
Come on up. Because
you can't have all these Nigerians.
Nigeria and Ghana, with these big populations, of the people that they've delivered to the dating shows, garbage 1 and garbage 2.
You had SK in Love is Blind. Hey. I recently started watching The Circle Series 5. There's another guy called Marvin. They're freshest. I mean, he's American. He's from America. But he said, when he opened his mouth, I was like, no, what freshie have they brought? What freshie have they brought across the ponds to the US? And also, he's in a cheating scandal. That's how much. Trying to talk to 2 girls behind closed walls. We're in the circle, for goodness sake.
I see one kente cloth in 2023 on a dating show. I'm not watching the show. Please. I can't do it anymore.
No, 2023 has to be the year of redemption for West African and African men.
It's actually enough. You guys are doing us so dirty out here. We're doing us so dirty. You're embarrassing us from top to bottom. Enough now, okay? You've done it. You've done it now. So 2023, year of redemption. 2023, year of industry. In fact, don't be going on dating shows. Start a business. Why are you out here on dating shows? Start a business.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Pay for your mum to fly to visit you. Instead of you to do that, you're on dating shows making a fool of yourself and your entire nation, the whole country.
The whole identity. There is now an identity of Nigerian men. Fresh.
It didn't start last year.
No, it didn't. No. You guys have been building that reputation for a while. But it's now just coming to life. People are now seeing it for who you really are.
It's so powerful. It's infiltrating the streets every single day.
It's moved from Nollywood to Hollywood. Next it will enter Bollywood. Just wait and see.
Enough. It's enough now.
It's enough.
It's enough.
Oh, Jerry.
It's enough.
Oh, gosh. Any more?
No. But this is a TV one.
Yeah.
But Love is Blind 2 flopped. Big.
Oh, that was 2022, yeah. Yep.
I had to remind...
It was 2022, yeah.
That season...
Oh, God.
Needs to be removed from culture. No. Because it...
That's why Series 3 has come back.
Divorced.
One by one, week by week. Remember, it was week by week.
We were out here... watching people falling in love with shame in 2022. What have we learned as a society? I feel like people in lockdown came out like any man.
Exactly. No, because we've been hiding for 2 years. Oh yeah, we need. No, guys, 2023 is the year of raising standards, raising limits.
You say so.
Enlarge your territory, literally. The only other thing I was gonna say was 2022 was definitely the year of the reversal. And when I say reversal, I mean of the aesthetic, the BBL aesthetic. I think it's still there, but these big celebrities, you've been noticing them downsizing. Butts have been lifted out. People have been removing filler, cheek, eyes. I'm now making it up.
You can't get filler in your eyes.
But what I'm just saying is just that we have seen a reversal of the exaggerated BBL, and that was, I think some of it became more noticeable with the Kardashians.
I feel like we've talked about this before maybe on the podcast, but like I believe very much in the idea of like beauty standards being cyclical, and actually you should just stick with whatever your God-given body is, because at some point it'll come back in. And I feel like we did talk about this because I was saying that, like, you know, the sort of heroin chic as it was coined, and now people are saying this is problematic, which it is, encourages eating disorders.
Yeah.
But also there are people who are naturally thin, who during BBL era were like, should I get a BBL? And now are like, don't worry. Don't worry about it, actually, BBLs are out. I think you just should, I think there are certain aesthetics that like sort of never go out of style. And even when people talk about being, being thin, it's like you still have to be fit.
Yeah.
It's not being so thin that you look like you're going to snap in two. People would still like you to be kind of curvy.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, boobs and a bum and somehow still thin.
Jesus.
Like boobs and a bum, but you fit in a size 6, which is not possible, by the way. So I personally just feel like the idea of changing your whole body to fit an aesthetic is
a trend. Yeah.
That being said, I have been thinking about recently what it means to make your money via your appearance, and in those instances, how tricky it must be if the tastemakers are the Kardashians and they will dissolving their implants, and you've made your money basically mirroring them to have to figure out that you've now got to go back and I don't know. It feels like an industry that just is not sustainable.
Oh, no.
And the fact of the matter is, you can't not age.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen Madonna recently?
Whew.
Because if you don't want to basically not look like yourself at all, you are going to age. Yeah. And I think the Kardashians will play a game with us and we'll be reading articles being like, aging is in, when the Kardashians decided they want to look older. Yeah. The idea that we are making decisions about how we want to look collectively as a society based on one family is nuts.
It's crazy. I do think we really started to see kind of a downfall of them. I think it's going to become more prevalent this year. I feel so.
I will say I was influenced today. I saw a woman on the train who must be in her 60s, and she had grey hair and she was black, and I said, that's what I want to look like when I'm 60.
Yeah. Have you seen that trend on TikTok where the mums will come out dressed as themselves and then they dress as like their daughters, and they look amazing as themselves, but also in their daughters' clothes, especially the more kind of demure daughters. I'm like, and everyone's like, wow, like you look great. I'm like, maybe you can dress a bit, not scantily dressed, but you can dress a little bit younger, even in your older age. As long as you wear comfortable.
What I wear until it is impractical.
Until it's so difficult for you to get into your own clothes.
Until it's like I can't actually bend down to pick up the baby. So can you pick up the baby and give it to me? Because if I bend over, you're going to see my whole taint. And I don't want you to. Or like, this corset is quite restricted. Like, I can't bend in my corset.
So dumb.
Like, that's when I will stop wearing it. But I'm not going to... Sometimes I think, wouldn't it be nice to just wake up in the morning, wear leggings and fleece?
Yeah. That's what I do on a regular.
But to me, in that scenario, my body is different because I'm a mum. If my body is not different, if my body is the same as it is now, why am I suddenly going to dress not like how I would dress now?
Yeah. For comfort and convenience, that's how I do.
I've been thinking about this week, and actually I feel like fashion is art and comfort and convenience is your business. You need to figure that out in your own time. But when you step out of your house, you better be telling an art story.
I don't have that time because I'm not dressing to look good for you. I'm dressing to feel comfortable.
Yeah, and I disagree with that. I think fashion is art. Your body is artwork, and you need to.
Your body is a story.
No, I never said that. But the way you present yourself is opportunity for self-expression. That's what I mean.
Marnie's a great dresser, I would say.
It's because I'm mentally ill. It is because I'm mentally ill, and my brain is like, think about your problems or put together a great outfit. I'm like, I'm gonna do that. And honestly, I really enjoy it, and I think I get that there are a lot of people for whom getting dressed is a practicality solely. But for me, I just really love being like, what about this and this? Is there something? And some days I wake up and I'm like, I need to leave the house now.
Yeah, you're just like,
this on,
throw it
like,
on.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like, everything I wear is the look. But when I have a place to go and I have time to plan the outfit, baby, you better believe I'm like, this is gonna be a look from head to toe. I'm telling you, it's a character. Yeah. It's an experience. And people see me and be like, ooh.
So dumb.
And that's how I want to feel when I look at myself in the mirror and be like, bitch. Bitch. That's how I want to feel.
And that's how we want 2023 to feel.
Yeah. For all of you. All of our lads.
Fun. I was going to say spicy.
And ladles.
And ladles.
Lads and ladles.
We're fun, enjoyable, blessed, exciting.
Crazy, cuckoo, cunt.
And we're going to be that's
not my fault. That's a drag race thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep that one in because it's a good cunt.
We'll put a little parental advisor thing.
Somebody says
in the
word cunt and it's not me.
I'm gonna just keep on bleeping. I'll keep that one, but I'll bleep everything.
There is a video of Azealia Banks where she's making up a song and it is just that word.
I can't do it. I can't.
I'll play it to you after this, actually.
Fab, I know you will. But anyway, I think we have gone into detail, and I know you probably still got more stuff.
No, let's wrap it up, babes.
We have had.
We're done with the year 2022. Time for 2023.
Happy old year, and we're going to a happy new year, even throughout January.
Thank you.
So yes, you have been listening to our review of 2022. This has been Scripts and Giggles with Shoshanna
and Marnie. Parny Wani.
Okay then.
Guani.
Oh, we're done. Thank you guys. Make sure to listen, like, subscribe, tell a friend. Bye.
Bye.